Hey guys, welcome to your Friday wrap. It's the 15th of May and some restrictions around the coronavirus look like they're starting to ease. That's a great thing. We're going to be able to get back out and live our lives like we used to. But before we do that, I've got an idea that I want to share with you. We're getting a number of statistics around the coronavirus, and one of them is that the discretionary spending of us has reduced significantly. We're hearing that between 20 to 50% is common for a reduction in our spending. And the reason for that is the places that we used to go and spend our money just aren't open. Restaurants, movie theatres, bars, nightclubs, wherever it is. So for the first time in a long time, people are saving some money. So what I want to share is an idea. Now let me explain this. I talk to a lot of people, and when it comes to financial planning, one of the questions I ask is, do you have any money that you can allocate towards debt reduction or wealth creation? And overwhelmingly, people say they don't have anywhere in their budget they can move some money or reduce their spending here so they can direct some money over here to reduce their debt quicker or increase their wealth faster. But because we're in a position now where for the first time in a long time you might have some savings and you're not spending as much, maybe there's an opportunity where you can take advantage of this crisis, look for the opportunity in the crisis, you've heard me say that, to come out of this better than what you went into it. Let me give you a very simple example. Say that you or you and your partner used to spend $250 a week on your discretionary spending. So that's everything other than your fixed spending. So movies, restaurants, nightclubs, whatever it is. Now that the places that we used to go are closed, you can't spend as much money, so you're only spending $150 a week. You're $100 a week down. We're going to be able to start spending our money again, but instead of going back to the way we were and not having any extra money at the end of the month, what about if we just sneak up halfway and use the other half of that money for a debt reduction / wealth creation plan? So in this example, instead of going from $150 back to $250, we go from $150 to $200, and we use the other $50 a week, as I say, a debt reduction or a wealth creation strategy. In this example, say if these two good-looking roosters over here are 45 and they're going to work for another 20 years. If they allocated just $50 of this week to their super in the form of a salary sacrifice, after 20 years, they're going to have about $140,000 more in super than they would have if they just went and spent that money on what I call lollies. Basically, there's nothing to be seen for that money. So instead of going from $150 back to $250, they've gone from $150 to $200, allocated $50 a week to debt reduction, to wealth creation. In this example, they've moved their money to super, salary sacrifice to super, and accumulated $139,000 more, which is $94,000 in today's dollars. Not a big amount for a couple, but a massive amount in 20 years' time. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, that the reason people don't do things like this is because they don't see the benefit, the long-term gain immediately. So it's like, it doesn't make much difference, why bother? But you can see that there's $140,000, $139,000 to be made by putting $50 a week away now. Obviously, there's some assumptions around taxes and earnings and that sort of thing. But the idea is to say, hey, we're about to get back into the world. If you're someone who hasn't been able to find any extra of your cash flow to allocate more effectively, now the opportunity may be there for you. So that's what I want to talk about today, guys. If that struck a chord and you want to find out more about yourself, give me a call. You know where to find me. Hope you're well. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.